After nearly 200 hours, 25 Let's Play episodes, over 2 months of gameplay during Alpha 21, we have gathered our final thoughts on what we think of the changes the Fun Pimps have made to the game. This is not a full review of the game, just simply our thoughts on the Alpha 21 update. A full review will be coming later this week and whether we think the game is in a good enough shape to recommend to people. Now starting with the good. The new crafting station models they added are really good looking and add some nice depth to the sort of last gen graphics that 7 Days to Die has. The also modular appearance based on what add-ons the crafting station has are also really well done. It can be fun to look at the changes during some of the slower periods of play while you're waiting for something to finish and you don't have a task that needs immediate attention. The new weapon mod changes make upgrading weapons a more sensible and straightforward path instead of it requiring you to constantly check stats and usually needing to have a quality 4, 5, or 6 item of the next tier. Now it is pretty much a choice between more mods and stats at a quality 1 and 2 versus the previous tier, and by quality 3 usually the next tier is better than even quality 6 of the previous tier. It did take a few minor patches to get it properly stamped out, but overall since the last update to it I'm pretty happy with it. Dew collectors were a much needed addition to the game to make a stopgap between you starting out and getting your helmet water purifier mod. Although I disagree with them generating heat, I use a mod to turn that part off. But being able to essentially farm water while also literally doing anything else can be a huge boon to your crafting and survival chances. I would like to see them possibly expanded in the future, although I unfortunately don't really have any ideas that come to me at the exact moment, but I'm sure some cool quality of life or even brand new features that they think of could possibly come from that, and they could be pretty fun. The empties jars change was a mixed bag for me personally, because I really enjoy them in the early game, even having to micromanage my inventory because I want renewable and replenishable resources as soon as possible. However, when I have set up enough sources of renewable resources like in the mid or late game, I, like everyone else, start throwing the jars away as soon as I use them. And honestly, not having to do that every couple minutes as I juggle everything else this game has to offer via inventory entries has been a positive change. I've modded them back in and out and taken them out a couple times too, but I can't seem to figure out, for me personally, if I like the removal of them or not. There's not really much to say about the vehicle changes, it just sucks to have your vehicles nerfed, although I did agree they may have felt a bit too durable. This wouldn't have been so bad if they had just kept the original damage changes, but they keep kind of messing with it with their mid-alpha updates. Thankfully, in their last update, they've changed it to be a bit more reasonable, I think, for both players and their vision, although I still think some further tweaking is required. Magazines on paper sounded really bad, and after heeding the Fun Pimps' defense of wait till you try it, I have to say it hasn't been as bad as it sounded on paper, but it hasn't been a good change either. Magazine RNG does contribute to the uniqueness of each run, but it can also cause an extreme frustration too. In many of my playthroughs for testing and also in our Let's Play, Better Left Dead, I had periods of extreme drought in terms of progress towards advancing to specific tech milestones, despite speccing points into that specific category, questing and looting bookstores, and picking the bundles more often as my rewards for the quests. This can leave a very bad taste in your mouth and lead to very bad play experiences. To continue on what I was saying about the magazine RNG and speccing points into specific perks to increase your chances of that magazine category, because every important tech perk for base building, increasing your Duke and questing rewards, discounts from the trader, and vehicles are in the intellect tree, intellect has become the go-to starting build for anyone looking to min-max their playstyle. This leads to silly instances where if you don't use intellect as your starting stat in single player or low number groups, we'll see you stretching into the far 30 to 40 day mark, or even longer if your luck stinks before you can achieve what someone with an intellect build can do in a mere week in game. Changing in how they have was supposedly about opening up build options and squashing strength as the best perk tree, but instead have just switched everything around and made intellect far stronger than the other trees, even stronger than strength was before the balance changes relative to the other trees. According to an interview with the Fun Pimps and 7 Days content creator Guns, Nerds, and Steel, the Fun Pimps said they tweaked the zombie AI to work better on lower end machines by increasing the number of dumb zombies that spawn during horde nights and other intense zombie areas, leading to some unforeseen circumstances where zombies do not follow the proper AI loop that they are supposed to, and cause big issues like getting stuck or even glitching through things they aren't supposed to. I'm sure this will be eventually fixed since the zombie pattern has been continuing to mess with since the launch of the game, but again it is a very bad play experience to have defenses set up and the zombies just cheat their way through by piling up on top of each other.
See all that?
Overall, we have been pretty pleased with the changes to the game this update. However, it hasn't been without flaw. RNG can make for exciting experiences like when I found a water purifier mod on my first day in a passing gas, but leave a bitter, unpleasant taste in your mouth when you haven't gotten one in almost 3 weeks in a different playthrough. You should definitely check it out and see if you're digging the changes though. As always, if you enjoyed the review and want to see more content, hit that like button and subscribe. Take it easy!